everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lygia here with your new moon reading that is happening to be in Gemini for June 17th and 18th, depending upon which time zone you're in or which area of the world you're in. And I don't know about you, but because it's the 17th and 18th, we've got this new moon energy right now. And we also have the summer solstice energy that is coming up on June 21st, which is the Tuesday. We've got this combined energy going on right now, and it's ecstatic. There's so much electricity in the air. It's like a crazy thing that would just basically make your hair stand on end. It is really impactful right now. And all I can say is this is a time to be very mindful about what comes out of your mouth. Be very careful about what it is that you say to others, specifically your significant other, because you could be under the influence of this energy that could possibly cause a little bit of rifts here and there in relationships, and depending upon relationships in general. I feel as though this is a time of a focus on yourself, the relationship you have with yourself. At the same time, you also want to be very careful of the relationship dynamics that you put into play. So less reaction, so less reactiveness, and more empathy towards those that are around you. So just to be on the mindful side, we know that the new moon and the full moon energies are always about the full moon about completion, the new moon about bringing in something new, and they always amplify the energies of the emotions that we have, or basically the emotional energy that comes out from the astrological archetypes that are out there. And it's kind of interesting. We're going to go right into the reading. I've picked the cards. It's kind of interesting because both card decks that I've chosen this time around happen to be very different than I normally do for the full and new moon readings. It's not moonology decks that I normally look at. But this time we have two different decks, one that deals with the astrological archetypes and how it deals with how it works with us right now. And also I've got the Kyle Gray's Gateway of Light Activation deck that is also coming out, and that is something very related to the solstice. Now, just so you know, I'm going to be putting out another reading for the solstice that is separate from this one, but just because I think that the energy is really, it deserves more attention at this time. So, but I think it's very interesting because the two of them that came out are about codes and light code activations with regards to how the astrological planetary alignments are on our particular positions in life, in this world, in this matrix, this crazy matrix that we're in, as well as the light activation. So we're looking at a very, very powerful time. And I know I also have a newsletter that I channel messages once per week, or in a weekly form, which if you go to my website, takebackyourpower.live, you can sign up for that for free, and it comes to your mailbox, your inbox weekly. So basically at this point, I believe that we are getting massive downloads, and I think something major is about to happen. I am not sure exactly where the energy is going towards that, and maybe the cards might actually look into that at this point, but something major is about to happen. I just feel that, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for our movement forward in consciousness, especially now, just because we are at a very crucial time in life where we really need to foster unconditional love towards ourselves. Like, in other words, not egotistically, but basically in a less loathsome way. Like, don't loathe yourself, love yourself, as well as for humanity around us, because everybody is kind of doing the same thing. We're in the same soup bowl. We're just basically different vegetables and fruit and whatever. So if you want to look at it that, or basically we're different molecules and we're creating the soup. So we're of the same mind. We're basically as one in that regard. And I believe something is about to happen to make the collective increase that consciousness. If you're not feeling it right now, I know one thing is for sure, sleep disturbances are happening probably all over the place. And it's definitely happening to me too. And what that indicates to me is that we are getting many downloads at night, many downloads at night. And as much as we possibly can, if you are able to get out into the sunshine, or even just outside, I would say that the energy from the sun is very important in also processing all of this downloading information. So let's get right into this. I know I kind of talked a little bit there, but we're looking at the Starcodes Astro Oracle by Roan Robbins. Excuse me. I know my throat's been doing something funky, so if I'm coughing, I apologize. And the Gateway of Light Activation by Kyle Gray, as I mentioned as well. So the first card we're going to look at is one from the Starcodes Astro, and or Astro cards. I've picked them all, but I haven't actually looked at them yet, so we're looking at them together. So the first one we have is Solar Calm, Clarify. I find it very interesting how the solar energy right now is not calm whatsoever. And it's definitely amplified more so than ever before that at least I've been living in. And it's one of those things where I believe when when the sun is calm and it's not shining, it's not blowing any energies towards you, you're dealing with yourself. You're basically, or living your life. You're living your life. You're on a roll. You're doing things kind of with the ebb and flow of life. But as soon as that sun becomes very active, wowzers. When it comes to the entrance of all of the different like photonic energy, gamma energy, particles that are getting into the atmosphere and basically coming towards us, no matter what happens, it comes through the atmosphere because they're so tiny. These particles are so tiny, and they are changing us at a DNA level. They are changing the energy and magnetic parts of us, the electromagnetic field that we are. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they talk about here with the solar calm, because I know that it's definitely not as calm at the moment. Or I was in the wrong book. Solar calm, clarify. And this is something where we're also going to be getting this information from the downloads to clarify certain things in our lives and as we go forward. When the sun is calm with few sunspots or solar flares, its steady energy is quiet and soothes any turbulence in our solar system. The volume is turned down on all the other aspects of your astrological chart. Telescopes can see farther into space. People tend to search for the metaphysical. Plant growth slows down on Earth, but the arts and creative processes often blossom. Politics tend to be opinionated but quiet, attitudes more entrenched. Excuse me. It's a hard time to start a revolution. Action. Just appreciate the deep, energizing quiet of this time. Work for steady progress and play the long game. Listen to your muse and support the arts. Take a creative approach and work toward positive change within the systems that are now in place with gentle, steady pressure. Find like minds and grow those deep connections. Listen to the quieter voices that are not usually heard, whether this is the whispering voice of your intuition or the subtle voice of the introverts or underrepresented. That's something that we are doing right now. In romantic relationships, hold hands and look for places of quiet refuge together. Build relationships now that will help you to manifest needed changes when the tide turns and the sun activates. Now, I find this interesting because it's basically talking about what happens on the downtimes of things. So I believe it's, in a sense, telling you what the calm was before everything kind of hits the fan. The challenge is basically, it's not the time to push ahead or spark change. If you're trying to motivate practical change in your life or try a totally new approach, it can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Be patient and the fog will clear in time. So this is a message of what it could be as a gift. Meditation helps. Turn down the noise of the outer world and listen with clarity to the knowing within. Let go of the details of the story and feel the call to spirit, to connection, and to the interconnectedness of all existence. In this quiet clarity, you can see far away to the distant stars and come to understand the overarching patterns. So what I'm seeing in this is basically, this is the calm before the storm. When we see the sun becoming more and more active, as is mentioned in here, it's talking about how it's calm within the solar system, that the planets kind of slow down the growth of the earth. The plants are a little bit, they don't grow as rapidly as they should. Well, right now it's really the total opposite. And I think that this is here to actually show you what the opposite is or what the opposite is doing, and also to let us know that things are going to speed up. So this is kind of a lull, I suppose, you could look at this a couple days, maybe even a week or so, maybe, of a lull where you can contemplate and regroup. I think the word in here is regroup. Listen to your intuition, your own intuition. And boy, is that ever important at this particular time. Listen to your intuition, do your research, and know that you are important at this particular time. So that means the focus is on you. You are focusing on yourself. And just like I said, self-love, self-appreciation. And it's not, again, not from a place of ego, but more from a place that you are created from the divine. And that means that on the inside of you, you have this divine part, this divine knowledge, this divine intuition that when used collectively, which is what we are working towards and what I believe the downloads are allowing us to do more of, is working outwardly with the collective consciousness here. When you do the work within, then you can now be adequately ready and or energized to be better off for everyone else and actually just basically give your best for everything. So that's why I think that there's a lull right now. And it does say that this is not a time for a revolution, but we are in a revolution. Like our entire planet is in a revolution, and it's just going to increase. This might be like the plateau of craziness and chaoticness in the world, but it is about to just jettison again. We have revolutionary change that is happening with every upgrade that the sun or the solar energy is giving us. And every single time we get a solar flare, the energy from the solar flare, it doesn't just hit the earth, because we're on the earth. Everything is on this earth and is also being affected. So just so that you know that this is only just the beginning. Let's look at the other card, which is also from the same deck. Aries, act. Now, Aries is very progressive. Aries is a very, and like I said, energizing. I'd say there's the energy that's associated with Aries has also to do with this go, go, go. I gotta go, I gotta do. And it's no surprise that it comes out and it says act. So the solar calm clarify, which is subduing, it's basically when the sun is calm, there's not as much going on, and you just basically contemplation on the inside. Well, this is forcing us to actually look at both ideas. This is acting upon doing the work on the inside, but also it might even come up with the polar opposite of what I just read, which I think is very interesting, because it is an action. It's time for an action as well, but the action may not be physical action. It may actually be something where we are doing something for ourselves on the inside. Aries asks you to remember your personal fire, your reasons for being alive. It pumps up the volume on your life force. Its energy is raw, exhilarated, direct, rude, passionate, and looking for a challenge. Use your wisdom to focus this raw power and give it a go. Aries is the cardinal fire sign whose fresh, brash enthusiasm is symbolized by a headstrong ram. It rules the head and imbues initiation, new beginnings, spontaneity, rebellion, and rebirth. Say no more. The sun shines here March 20th to April 20th. That's when the sign of Aries is at this time. Action. Begin. Move into new territory. Cut to the chase. Be a hero. Feel the call to action and thoughtfully respond. Clear the air and clear the decks. Be crisp and to the point. Shoot from the hip. Set healthy boundaries just by being vibrantly alive. Express affection enthusiastically, spontaneously, and passionately. Work in short, intense bursts rather than long periods of deep concentration. And that's actually a really good one for that calm and clarity if you're going to be meditating. Just basically, instead of one long meditation, take the time for short bursts of them. Aries activates our inner adolescence. Direct orders can set off knee-jerk rebellion. Instead of telling others what to do or how they feel, express your own experience and opinion and speak in I terms. Again, I was saying, watch what you say. Set a challenge and let others find their own answers. Make sure all sides feel heard. If a person feels torn between meeting their own needs and meeting another's, they'll take care of their own needs first. So don't set this up as an either or situation. So working on yourself first will help you to be the best for another person. Aries energy boils over quickly. If a situation threatens to erupt in conflict, get out, take a break, and come back later. And that is the kind of energy we're seeing right now. Challenge. Accidents increase when you're in a hurry, rushing through a project, or impatiently distracted. This flammable temperament can spark inspiration or spark a conflagration. Proceed with caution. A gift for this, Aries marks the beginning of spring in the Northern Hemisphere after a long, dark winter, and the dead landscape comes alive. Plants that were shorn of leaves or dormant now breathes new life. So it is increasing the birth and regrowth of it. This is a brave miracle, and it can be your miracle. Feel the flowing inner life force. Trust this divine direction and summon the courage to begin. Now, if you notice, I'm going to hold up the two cards here. And I want you to take a look here. We've got two opposing cards and two opposing energies. Well, it just so happens that the new moon is in Gemini, the twins. So we've got the duality, and we have the duality energy going on right now. That is what this is actually amplifying. This new moon is amplifying, as well as the solstice is amplifying. So you know that there's butting heads. Like there's definitely going to be butting heads. And it's not just going to be ourselves. We're going to see this in politics. We're going to see this right across the world. We're going to see lots of people that are coming out on the streets. So this is that action part, but also at the same time, and again, in this opposition, we're going to feel this contemplation, this time to contemplate. And believe me, this energy does definitely exist. I've had the same sort of feeling, but in a different circumstance, a different situation where I'm torn. And the clarity will be coming to you. And I suspect my intuition is telling me this big thing that's about to happen is a form of clarity. It's basically that form of wisdom, that form of intuition that brings us to a level of understanding and consciousness that is that much ahead, that much more ahead. So it'll how things play out within the next 3 days or so, especially as we lead up to the solstice, because the energy on the actual day literally brings the vortex of everything around it into the fore. Let's look at the next card. And that's now into the Gateway of Light activation card deck. Earth Star activation, anchoring, grounded action, Isis energy. Isis being basically the Egyptian goddess, and a mother, basically a mother of a family-oriented deity. So let's look at Earth Star activation. I want to see what she has to say first, because, and then I'll speak about it, and we'll see where things kind of combine with the other two cards, and knowing that we have a duality energy that it's representing, that the Starcodes are representing. Now let's just see what the activation or the portal activation has to say. The Earth Star chakra, found around 6 to 12 inches or 15 to 30 centimeters below our feet, is the energetic portal that connects us directly with the soul wisdom of Mother Earth. It is our gateway to the underworld of the earth, a space of sacred magic and mystery where we will find a lot of the tools, gifts, and skills the ancients used to connect with the earth and her wisdom. The Egyptian goddess Isis appears on this card as our spirit guide. She is a high priestess of the stars who knows the importance of connecting with the underworld to stay grounded, aware, and manifest all that we need to grow. Follow in her footsteps by connecting to your Earth Star. Anchor down and go digging within to find any parts of the magic, wisdom, and experiences you've pushed down, both in this incarnation and in previous lifetimes. These tools could be helpful on the next phase of your journey. Now, that's an action part as well. Going down, digging deep, that is also that solar calm to clarify, going within. Connect. Imagine deep roots from the soles of your feet penetrating the earth and anchoring round a giant copper crystal star. Visualize streams of consciousness moving up into your feet. Receive them, then listen deeply. The message for this card: when you draw this card, know your Earth Star has been activated, and the wisdom you once ignored is finally being acknowledged. I was saying about wisdom, wasn't I? The rejected parts of yourself have now been rediscovered. There is an opportunity for you to rediscover magic too, but stay firmly rooted in all of your endeavors. Let the earth hold and sustain you. Don't rush ahead. In fact, if you've been wondering if it's time to move forward, know that it isn't. Stay put for the time being. Important information is about to be revealed, so wait and stand strong. This is a time of integration and rest rather than pushing forward. Great wisdom lies within you. Dive deep and find it, and trust in yourself. You have more strength than you realize. Boy, those are wonderful words to say, and it's so perfect for this time. This is an absolutely perfect message for it. You have this magic. We have this magic. And this portal, this activation that they're talking about, I believe is happening at this particular time because of the energies that are coming in. And as it activates, the magic within us, as not lowly human beings, but very powerful, very energetically divine beings, will start to come forth. And this is where I believe the raise in consciousness is about to take a rocket leap. So let's look at the last card of the same deck and see where it's at. Star gathering, stars aligned, remembering home, soul, family. Like I said, you really can't make this stuff up. This is part of the collective consciousness and how we become part of the collective consciousness, and just relish in the fact that we have this connection with each other more so than ever before. This is a time of an activation to remember ourselves. In the past card, we're talking about wisdom as well. So we're bringing back wisdom of the ancients. So, and the ancients, if you believe in reincarnation, the ancients, incarnations and multiple incarnations, the ancients are us. We have been here. We're on this, we're in school. We're in school in this matrix, and we're learning over and over and over again. And if that's the case, I mean, as it is, I believe that we are learning something. We're always learning something. Our intuition has grown and grown and grown with every incarnation. There's many of us that are old. We've been here for eons, and that means that we've collected a lot of wisdom, and we can access this wisdom now. This is another thing I believe is going to be happening with these particular activations that we're receiving. So let's look at star gathering. There's something powerful about looking up into the midnight sky. Seeing that vast openness, we recognize that we are part of something that is beyond our understanding. This card brings that feeling directly to us, that feeling of utter connectedness to the stars, whether we fall in and out of the dream state and wonder about the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Star Gathering is a powerful card. It's the energy of home. Before we joined the cycle of life as a human being, we were part of the cosmos. And that feeling of being connected to the stars is a memory of what we were before. This card reminds us that we have star power and star potential, but we are not the only star in the world. For when we switch on our light, we attract more star energy and even our own star family. Very, very keen words to take into mind. Connect. Visualize yourself shining like a star in the heart of the universe. See yourself radiating warmth and light. Let your energy become magnetic and draw more light and other stars towards you. Be open to identify these beings. They are your family. The message. The stars have aligned. You have found lost pieces of yourself and your energy, and now is your time to shine. You are magnetic, attracting people, energies, and opportunities that will allow your dreams to unfold. This is a time of wishes fulfilled. All of your dedication, focus, and dreaming has paid off, and now you could reap the rewards. It's important for you to know that this plane of existence is your rightful place, and not to spend too much time trying to transcend this reality, for you chose to be here at this time. I know it's hard, but that's where we're at. Make the most of this powerful opportunity. If you are feeling particularly connected to certain individuals at this time, it's because you're finding your star family. Beings you connected with before you entered the cycle of physical incarnation. And as long as you are connected to yourself, you are home. Oh, that's beautiful. In the card prior or previously, the Earth Star activation, we are talking about being connected to the Earth. So this is something of grounding. So basically going out and grounding and remembering that you came here and why you came here by grounding, by going out into nature. In this particular card, we're talking about our oneness with everyone else and the star families that are out there, the otherworldly families, and being mindful that we aren't the only beings that exist. It would just be very arrogant to say that we are the only ones that exist in this universe or universes. So looking at all of this, like everything that has been said, and especially what has been said in every card is very pertinent. I believe the words are extremely pertinent to this particular time. We're connecting with ourselves. So looking at all of the cards at this particular moment, we have the connection to Aries and acting. We have a solar calm, and that's basically the calm and clarity of going within and tapping into that intuition, that wisdom that we have from all the incarnations, and then acting upon it by not so much physically acting, but making sure that you connect with each one, that you're grounding and you're recognizing you as the ancient one, or connecting with the ancient ones, which are you, to reflect upon that wisdom and bring it into the fore. So you will need that as you move forward, that wisdom. Then we have the activations, the Earth Star activation and the Star Gathering, and we're basically taking this energy and plummeting it into the earth. So shining our light simply just means being who we are. The light beings that actually exist within the soul that is within us. Remember that, because there's too many acts of forces that are trying to actually pull that soul out of us. And honestly, when you recognize that light within you, you are recognizing the light of the soul. You're recognizing why you are here and the connectedness with each person. So the physical attributes that you want to look at this time is be careful with your relationships. In other words, it's saying also have healthy boundaries with relationships, knowing that some may not pursue or be pursued. Some actually may fall away at the time. You might choose to disconnect from some of the relationships just because your consciousness level is changing and everybody is different in that sense. It doesn't mean that your soul connection is disrupted. It just means that you are allowing your environment to be within the energy space and you resonating with the energy space that you're in. And knowing that intuitively, you probably will be starting to sense different things. That might be the physical, metaphysical. So when you are sensing certain things around you that might not be explainable, that is your metaphysical sense. Your physical senses might actually you might feel tingling, you might feel headaches, you might feel definitely sleep disturbances, whether it's overly excitable, like in other words, too much energy or too little energy. So you might also be exhausted. So some people find these differently depending upon their body state at this time. This is also saying to connect with that part of yourself that is attributed to how you have existed on this earth for all this time in this particular lifetime. So in other words, you are connecting with the earth, allowing yourself to earth ground, take your feet and plop it into the earth, and get the connection maybe in sand or in water, so that you have this eternal connection at that point, and you can process the information that is being sent into you, that is being downloaded into you at this time. Boy, we have a lot going on, don't we? And it's a perfect time period. I'm sure at the time of the solstice on the 21st, there is going to be either something that will happen that will allow us to sense more, or basically it should happen shortly after something big is about to happen. And at this point, be gentle with yourself. Know that things are proceeding, and if you are non-energetic or over-energetic, just let it be, go with the flow, and try to take some time with little spurts of meditation during the day. So breathing, just sitting, closing your eyes, focusing on your breath and how it feels, and just do that for several minutes, and then go about your own business and do it again some other time later in the day. That will help you to regroup, to hone in on the energies that are being channeled into you at this particular time, and to move forward, so that when things do become active, and when you are doing things that you wanted to do, or you started before and you had to regroup in order to go on forward, then you can do this with clarity, with fervor, and basically no blocks in your forward movement, in your momentum. So I hope this helps. If that's a lot, I'm sure it's a lot. I will be having a solstice reading coming out, as well as a meditation for the solstice, and the next 6-month reading will be coming out very shortly. So watch for those. And I really, really am very grateful for your visiting the website. If you can, takebackyourpower.live, check it out and see if it calls to you to sign up to the newsletter, so you can get some extra channelings and news about what's happening in the following week. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos. Bye for now.